everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys my tips and tricks on how to achieve this look right here. It is my go-to glowy bronze look with a little bit of smokiness in the eye and a nude lip. And of course, it's super versatile, so feel free to change things up. This is just what I like. And I'd also wanted to mention that I do have an Instagram account that I made. So if you'd like, you can go follow me on that. It is THEBRITTANYCIARA. And also, if you're loving my videos and you want to see more of me, I'd really appreciate a subscribe. So please hit that subscribe button, but I will hop into the video right now. Okay, so it's really important to make sure that your face is moisturized. So I'm just gonna use my Cetaphil or Cetaphil, however you wanna say it, Daily Facial Moisturizer. I'm just taking, you know, a dime size amount and putting that all over. Okay, so once you're done that, I'm gonna move on to foundation. Now this foundation is the Maybelline Better Skin, and I believe I am in ivory beige, I believe, or beige ivory. I'll leave the link down below, of course. So I'm gonna use a damp beauty blender, pop that on there. So as I'm blending it in, I'm making sure that I'm getting my ears, taking it down to my neck, and getting it up until my forehead. So the key to any kind of glowy, dewy look that you are going for is to make sure that you have a really good base put on, it's blended out really well, and also that it is pretty high coverage, I would say. So that's the first layer. Now I'm actually gonna take a second layer just because I think that it is important to have. So really focusing it in the T-zone and just kind of blending out the rest where you need it. Okay, so now that that's nicely blended in, we can kind of go into the next step, which is, I'm actually gonna be, now this is a trick, I'm gonna be using the Bare Minerals Original, and this is in their powder foundation. I'm in the color 10, which is N30, and this is really good because it has SPF 15, so if you're looking for a kind of a beachy look, a look toward the beach, then you can definitely use this because it's got some SPF in there, right? So that's really awesome. And I'm gonna be using this, it's gonna kind of duplicate a setting powder, but it's also going to be kind of that like almost third layer of foundation, but it's gonna be very light, so it's not gonna look cakey. And I'm just gonna place this on a face brush like this. I'm gonna kind of tap it in, get some on my brush, not too much because I find this stuff is really pigmented and it's loose powder, so you kind of want to be careful with it. But I'm just going to pop it in the lid. Here you kind of have an even amount on your brush. And I'm going to be using my mirror, which is down here. But honestly, just kind of placing it when your natural contour. I find that this, so I'm going to go ahead and do that actually. Now the thing with this is you kind of have to work with it. So sometimes it goes on streaky, which you can kind of see there. So just go ahead and blend it out. The thing with this is it blends out really well. But what I was gonna say is that it really gives you that flawless complexion. This alone is really, really good if you're just looking for something quick. But for that kind of, you know, goddess-esque look, and to look really glowy, we want to make sure that we're kind of using something that looks like our skin tone but gives us a bronzy look. All right, so that's pretty well blended in, and I'm not really contouring with this at all. I'm really just kind of placing it over my entire skin because it is supposed to be a powder foundation. It's not really supposed to be concentrated in areas, but I mean, you know, a trick is just to kind of concentrate in the areas that you want to be the darkest and contour a bit, and also putting it all over your face. Next, I'm going to be using some concealer to brighten up my under eyes. Okay, so I'm just going to be going in with the Almay concealer. This is really good. It's really good for brightening. It's the Almay Smart Shade, and I am in color light, which is 010. And for this one, I'm actually just gonna place it on my ring finger here. I just find it's better to place it on your finger because you can kind of work it into the places that you need it most, and then you can kind of blend it out with your finger. And it's really good because it warms up in your finger as well and kind of just makes it easier to apply to your overall face. So giving that kind of V-shape look on your eyes. And I'm also gonna be placing it on my nose a bit and a little bit on my chin. Now, I'm going to go ahead and blend that in right away. And you will see right away that it is quite brightening, which is what we want. We want this look to look fresh, bright, but also that bronzy and glowy look. And we just basically achieve that with a lot of, you know, contour, bronzer, and highlighting tricks, really. Now I'm actually going to bring this up onto my eyelid as well. So next what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to apply a little bit of a different bronzer. And this is just gonna kind of help to contour a little bit underneath my cheekbones and around my face. Just as like a little bit of a different type of bronzer, which is just this butter bronzer. So I'm gonna take a little bit of that. I'm gonna take a little bit of a different brush as well. More of kind of a dome fluffy brush here. And just circle that in there and concentrate that on my contour. I also, when I do this, I like to kind of bring it up to my cheekbones a bit. So that's pretty much it for bronzer. I am going to be using a little bit of blush here, but we're actually gonna move on to some highlight. Now I'm gonna use two different types of highlighters. One is a liquid one and one is a powder one. However, they're both Becca and they're both the same color. So the first one here is just in this liquid form. This is in Opal, and it's just the Shimmering Skin Perfector Spotlights. I'm going to place this on my normal highlight and on the bridge of my nose, as well as on my Cupid's bow. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Now a trick with this kind of liquid highlighter is to go in right away and start blending. This just kind of gives your makeup look a little bit more staying power as well, because it is a liquid form. Once we're done that, we are actually gonna go in right away with the powder highlighter. Same thing, Becca comes in this little pack here. This I think I just got as a tester, but it's got a lot of product in there, so you don't need to worry about it running out, right? Trying to save money here. So I'm just gonna put this on the same dome brush that I used before, mainly kind of focusing it on the edge, but doesn't really matter. And we're gonna go in there and pop it on. And I just really find that using a liquid highlighter with a powder highlight on top just makes it pop even more and makes the lasting power so much better. And this is really the key to the look here that we're going for, because it is obviously a glowy look. We want to make sure that we are looking glowy and fresh. And so another thing that I'm gonna do here is just put a little bit on my forehead and a little bit on my chin. I am going to be filling in my brows and putting on mascara in this video just a little while later, but I am going to focus a little bit on my eyes. So I am gonna be going in with my Naked 2 palette here. I'm gonna be using the Foxy color, which is on this far right here, and just a flat eyeshadow brush. So putting some of that on my brush and placing that on my eyelid there. Okay, so I literally just swept that over the entire eyelid up until my brow bone, just to give that little bit of base. And then what I'm gonna do is go in with this color, which is called Bootycall. It's the third one in there. Go in with the same brush, and we are actually just gonna focus that on the bottom lid here. Now this is really gonna help with brightening up your eye. Because our face is kind of really bronzed up, we don't only wanna go with a really bronzed eye and really dark eye. Okay, so to kind of give a little bit more dimension to our eyes, because we've already kind of contoured our cheekbones and the rest of our face, we are gonna give some depth in our eyes and in our crease. So I'm gonna be using this color Tease, which is not really a brown color. It's actually more going into the neutral plums, but it is matte. So I'm just gonna barely tap it on this brush, on this flat dome brush here, in there, and I'm going to place that in my crease and really blend it out. This is not supposed to be a harsh crease color. It's just mainly to give depth to your eye and kind of bring the look together, so your face isn't really, your cheeks aren't looking all contoured and your face is looking super flat, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so that's kind of one light dip in my eye, and I haven't done the other side yet, but I just wanted to mention that this look is super versatile. I mean, I'm just basically showing you the basics and what I think you should include in the, like, in your glowy face makeup routine, but it's super, super versatile. I mean, you could go with a really bold eye here, a really bold lip, whatever you prefer. I'm just trying to keep it simple and keep it really fresh looking, like very kind of minimalistic, but I'm gonna go in here and do the other side. And I probably will end up doing another kind of dip into that Tease eyeshadow again, that plum color, and putting it again in the crease just to start to deepen it up a little, but you do whatever you prefer. Okay, so after you've kind of darkened up your crease a bit, we are gonna go in with this half-baked golden shade, which I think is really pretty to just include in this makeup look. So what I'm going to use for this one is just this kind of really kind of tapered dome brush. So I'm gonna place it in there and kind of just focus it in this first half of my eyelid here. And we are gonna kind of drag it down into the inner corner. This is just gonna kind of tie in this whole gold and bronze look, I find. And it's also gonna kind of work as a transition shade as well. Okay, so that definitely made our eyes pop, I find. And so next I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows and my eyelashes, and then come back and I will show you the kind of end products that we're gonna be using for our face and also the lip color. Okay, so I'm back from doing my eyebrows and my eyelashes. I'm gonna be putting on a blush. This is just the Maybelline Fit Me New York, and this is in color medium pink. So just kind of using the same dome brush that I've used off and on here, and just kind of placing that. I will kind of put out a little bit of a caution. We don't want to put it on top of the highlighter, nor do we want to kind of put it in where we put the bronzer, just kind of in between and a little bit more focused on the apples of our cheeks. Okay, perfect. So the final step that we are going to do is lips. Now I'm just keeping it very, very neutral. I don't want to kind of take, you know, a little bit more of a bolder choice for the lips. So I'm gonna be just going in with this Loreal Jennifer's Nude. If you've watched my other video about my drugstore haul or my drugstore, you know, what's new at the drugstore video, you will have seen this before. And if you haven't, you should go check it out because I found some really, really good stuff. So I just find that this lipstick really complements this look. We've gone with a little bit more of a darker smoky eye, but that's totally fine. I mean, right now, I'm really just happy with how the highlight turned out and how the face looks. So that's gonna complete the look for today. I really hope that you enjoyed it and you got some tips out of it as well to make your own kind of personalized glowy look, but this is just kind of the basics, I find. So if you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you here on my channel and you'd be updated every time that I upload. And don't forget to check out my Instagram account. It is THEBRITTANYCIARA. And I will leave a link down below. But thank you so much for watching.